Hello and welcome to the Level 1 Sword Podcast. My name is Steven and I am joined by my co-host, Matt.
I'm Matt.
It's like the OG podcasters back together again. I think. Do you think?
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, this is kind of a new format, a new experience for us. You know, we're very experimental around here. So, we're going to be talking about all the E3 news that dropped this past week, and there's quite a bit. Now, we're not going to go through all of the games that they either announced or covered because we would be here a very, very long time, and there are other people that are doing that get paid to do it too. So
we get paid.
We did once.
That is technical payment.
One time, once upon a time, we were paid.
Spent that fat check
Wow.
on a sandwich.
But yes. Before we get started, I just want to ask all of you if you enjoy this video. There are plenty others on the channel to watch and view at your leisure. And if you like the video, then leave us a like, a comment, share, and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. And with all that nonsense out of the way, Matt, E3, what'd you think this year overall?
I didn't know how it was going to go with Sony not being there. I thought it would be a little bit weird. That being said, I think Sony not being there did absolutely nothing. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was still good. I mean, there was still a lot of good stuff covered. There were
And it's
lots of surprises.
Yeah, and Sony still released stuff. So, and like in my mind, that's like what I was like, oh, they're not gonna like do anything, but no, they still released stuff. They didn't show up because they're losers.
They released a special edition Slim PS4. They still also like had a bunch of game deals that you could get. I think like God of War and Spider-Man were like as low as $20 in some places. Yeah. So yeah, it's not like they weren't partaking in the festivities. But we had Microsoft had their press conference. From what I understand, it was pretty good. I just don't think Microsoft can do a proper press conference. I think every year it just seems like, and I know these are technically what press conferences are, but it just seems like a big long commercial for them, and where they get celebrities on the stage and they get people who have almost nothing to do with video games get up there and talk about video games for 30 minutes, and it's always bad. Last year Sony's E3 was very bad. They talked about 4 games. They kept moving the locations. Came off as extremely, what's that word? Pretentious. And yeah, and there were also like it was just weird.
Sony is pretentious.
Yeah.
They're like the rich kids of gaming.
Even though the company in general is not doing the best financially, like it's
kind of amazing.
Funny. Like Microsoft's like, Xbox One, kind of a failure. We don't care. We'll put out another one.
Yeah.
They just, they can take it. They're Microsoft. So the first game that I wanted to cover is going to be what was called Dragon Ball. I think it was Dragon Ball Project Z before, and now they have renamed that to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And based on what I saw of it, the new, like, actual gameplay, because I think before it was either CG or it was cutscene, like in-game cutscenes that we were seeing. This time they showed actual gameplay, and it just kind of looks like another Raging Blast. It just looks like it's a one-on-one fighter. It's supposed to be an action RPG. Okay. Yeah, that's what they called it when they first announced it, and it was under the moniker Project Z. But now they're calling it Kakarot, and you're just in a 3D fighting arena, and it looks like he's engaging in one-on-one battles. If that's all it's going to be, I'm not interested. Did you see that footage?
No, but that's because I don't like Dragon Ball.
Oh, Nathan's the one that likes Dragon Ball.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't like Dragon Ball. I never got into it, and I never cared to get into it. So I don't know anything. Like, I think Kakarot is Goku.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's his Saiyan birth name. But
gotcha.
It's okay. You're uninitiated around here, right?
I own a bunch of things.
So, and then you wanted to talk about a couple of games, so bring up one of those.
I think it was I think Microsoft covered it. It was Cyberpunk 2077.
CD Projekt Red is the name of the studio that is working on it.
Yes.
Same people behind the Witcher series, which is where they really came to prominence with The Witcher 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is... fun fact, that was actually a tabletop game.
The Witcher?
No, Project 2077. It was called Project 2020. It was like Dungeons and Dragons, but
you're
like
talking
Cyberpunk
about the
style.
Cyberpunk project? Or is it just Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah, it's just Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay. Too many projects. Getting them muddled.
There's a lot of them. No, it looks really good. I've known about it for a while. It's been going on it's been in the works for like 5 years.
I want to say they announced it maybe last E3, or if not last E3, they announced it within the last year. It got announced somewhere.
Yeah.
And they just had a CG trailer, and they said it's going to be like the most ambitious game, like single player game ever made. That's saying something considering they did make The Witcher 3, which is a very deep and content heavy game. Yeah.
I didn't know a whole lot about it. The only reason I knew about it is because Wyatt has actually been keeping close. He's been keeping a close eye on that game for a while.
Yeah.
I did not want to get as excited about it because if it turned out to be garbage, I didn't want to wait like 5 years for this thing to come out. And it's like, oh no. But it looks visually very pretty.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
A lot of actually, and when it was first announced, they weren't saying what consoles it was coming to, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is a next gen game," and apparently it's not.
Nope.
It's actually coming to the current generation of consoles.
Yep.
So,
which is very cool. The cutscene looked. Well, I don't know if it's a cutscene or not. But it looks very pretty. It also revealed a character who is actually from the original tabletop game. But that person is portrayed by Keanu Reeves, and the internet went crazy after that.
Yeah, I guess this is largely to positive reception from what I can tell.
Oh yeah,
just because I guess John Wick.
Yeah,
and no other reason.
Yeah, he's been on a roll other than.
Yeah, I heard someone put it as a Keanu Reeves renaissance of sorts going on right now. He has been out of movies for a while, but
yeah, he's been popping back up for a while.
And do you have another game that you want to bring up later on, or is that the only one?
Yes.
Yes, that was the only one?
No, I do have another game to bring up later on.
Okay, all right.
We can do it later on.
We'll do it after that. So, I think I might have something to talk about.
Does it have to do with the big sword?
No, I'm just admiring. This is what I shave with. You crazy? No, okay. So, Final Fantasy VII Remake. They talked about it a lot at Square Enix's press conference. Like, they opened with it. It was probably the first 20 minutes or so of the press conference. I can't wait for this game. I actually found out some new information today too that they've been talking about with journalists behind closed doors, and I actually made this assumption during the presentation, and they confirmed it. But this first game is just going to be Midgar, and I thought actually, yeah, that's going to be a great point to cut it off when they're about to leave Midgar, because it just kind of does feel like the game, like the original Final Fantasy VII, transitions into something completely different once you leave Midgar and you get into that open world map. But they did say that it's going to be coming out on March 3rd. And in addition to that, they are going to be having, of course, a bunch of different collector's editions, one of which is about $300. Gotta love those collector's editions.
Well,
That's
kind of close to tax return season.
It does come out with a Cloud on a Bike statue,
Oh, gotta have it.
right? And they did say it's going to. Now, I'm confused here. I'm pretty sure they said it's going to ship on 2 Blu-rays. They either said it's going to ship on 2 Blu-rays, or the game is so big it would fit on 2 Blu-rays. So either you're going to get 2 discs, or you're going to just have to download the rest of it like most games do. Like, oh, it doesn't fit, so here's 30 gigs you got to download to get the rest of the game.
Hi.
Modern gaming at its finest.
I think Fallout 76 had like a 45 gigabyte update.
Patch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like release day. Yeah, that was.
It was rough.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's got a release date. It's not somewhere out there. Someone made the comment that it's going to be 5.5 years after the initial announcement of the remake. A lot better than 15. A lot better than 15.
Better than anything.
That was a decade that we waited around for 15. Kingdom Hearts 3 has been,
13 years.
toyed with us. Yeah. Since the last console game.
Oh, good job, Square.
You're getting better.
Getting
I like it.
It only took you 5
And
years.
the game looks so good. Okay, like visually speaking, it's everything that I want in the remake. This is like the remake to end all other remakes. It's like, okay, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Spyro Remastered Trilogy, Shadow of the Colossus remake. As pretty as
you're
that
gonna have to
is.
start getting a little bit bigger on your
Right.
your remakes,
Right.
because I don't think you can compare Crash and Spyro to Final Fantasy VII.
I mean, those were my mainstay PS1 games. I still liked. I played Crash right alongside Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, this is like, I'm serious. This is like probably going to be the best remake of any game. Not even talking about the base game, because what I was really worried about in those initial reveals that they showed was just how much the game had changed, and that you were just going to be controlling one character at a time. And it just seemed, honestly, the battle system seemed like Final Fantasy 13, but you could move around.
it looked like Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, well, that's actually how it's going to control. Now it is going to be controlling a lot like 15, but you're going to have, so you're basically going to have that basic attack that you can do at any point in time by pressing a square button, and then that fills up your active time battle gauge, which I love that they kept that, because that's what they would basically call your time gauge in Final Fantasy VII. And that system has been in place in Final Fantasy, I think it was like 4 through 9. They had the ATB system. So it's nice that they're calling it that, and that is actually what it is. You have to build up basically AP ability points to cast magic, other skills. So it's going to be an RPG, but it's going to be a modern RPG, and it's a natural modernization, I think, of the original game. And they revealed Tifa. A lot of people were happy when they revealed Tifa, because they haven't shown her yet. And Tifa's awesome. Men and women alike like Tifa. We saw the inside of Seventh Heaven, the bar that they all meet at. That was a cool scene. A little tidbit of a scene that we saw. We just saw a whole lot more of the game. I have mixed feelings about them bringing Sephiroth in this early on in the story, because in the original game you don't really even hear the name of Sephiroth until you're almost out of Midgar, and it looks like, well, you're gonna be seeing Sephiroth a lot sooner, or at least a vision of him. Square Enix said that they are not sure how many installments they're going to break the game up into, because this is going to be episodic. We don't know what they're going to be called. As far as we know, this first one is just going to be called Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think they need to call it at least like Episode 1 or Chapter 1 or something like that to differentiate between the others, because that's going to get really confusing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm so pumped for it. I do wonder, like, are they going to release all of them on PS4, or is it going to be like at some point you're going to have to get PS5 to get the rest of them? I don't know. That's all up in the air right now.
I feel like that kind of depends on just how soon they make them, or like you said, how many they're planning on doing. Because I'm sure if they plan on doing more than 2, I'm sure that they'll release it on the PlayStation 5. But I'm sure they'll also release it on PlayStation 4.
And honestly, I honestly think that the PS5 and the next Xbox, we're not going to really see a whole lot of difference base graphically. Like, pretty much any game that's going to run on the new consoles can run on the old ones, just at a smaller resolution and maybe a slower frame rate. And I'm cool with that if that's going to be the only difference. So, all I can say is I know I'm going to be doing March 3rd. So, what was your next game?
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
Okay.
It was...
Catch me up on that.
I believe... I don't know who showed it off. It may have been Microsoft. It may have been... Actually, I think it was Microsoft, because it's the game was developed by Obsidian, and to my knowledge, which I'm sure is wrong, the last game, I know it's wrong actually, but the only game that I've played by them was Fallout New Vegas, which is actually my favorite Fallout game.
Fun fact, I think... Oh, never mind. That's a different company I'm thinking of. But anyway, yeah, I know that they made Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, and I thought they did a great job with that. New Vegas was really fun. At least I thought. My brother doesn't like it so much.
I heard it's really buggy, but a lot of people still like it.
See, I feel like I don't understand that complaint when it comes to Bethesda games, because they're all buggy. You can't find a Bethesda game that's not buggy. And it was the first time that Obsidian had done something like that. So it wasn't even like Bethesda's A-team that worked on New Vegas. And I think it still turned out great.
So it's some people's favorite Fallout. I've heard that.
Yeah, it is my favorite Fallout. But yeah, now they're doing their own. It feels kind of like a Fallout game. It's like if Fallout and Borderlands had a baby.
Aww. A little post-apocalyptic baby.
Yep. I haven't seen a whole lot of gameplay from it. And I'm really wanting to. Just really a bunch of cutscenes and what a bunch of different locations look like. So the kind of like Borderlands feel comes from is there's like a bunch of different... Well, I guess Borderlands, you're really just exploring Pandora.
And what was the name of it again?
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bunch of different locations you can choose from. It's like the core, like the far reach of the galaxy. It's just kind of like this one location where explorers of the universe come, and it's like kind of like the edge of the known galaxy that people know about. There's like some corporation that's got like a monopoly on everything, I think. And then you basically come there, and I think you're just trying to like
Be nice.
no,
Not be nice.
yeah. I think you're trying to ruin whatever this company's doing. It's probably a bad company, but it seems to have the dialogue of Fallout, which is nice. I liked the dialogue they did for that game.
Oh, the trees, like the dialogue
Yeah.
choices.
Yeah. It looks like you can go down like different paths, being good or bad, or neutral if you're boring. There's not a whole lot I know about that game. They haven't really released a whole bunch about it. I thought they'd be showing. I thought they would have showed some gameplay. I'm sure they did. I just haven't seen any. I've been fairly busy this week, so I've been like taking in small amounts of E3.
Yeah, it's
footage.
hard. It's hard to keep up with E3 when you're working because it's just for a couple days. It's just nonstop announcements and releases.
Yeah. But that looks really good. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know what all it's coming on. I hope it's more than just Microsoft, because that's the one console I don't have.
Even though that used to be the one that you did have.
It used to be the one, yes. I used to have Xbox One, but I finally caved because Sony just has better exclusives.
It's true. Microsoft needs to come back next generation.
Yeah, they have some that are okay, but they're not what they used to be. But please release that on PlayStation.
So the next game I wanted to bring up was the Avengers. And this is something that I was looking forward to when they announced it way back in 2017. It's being made by the same team at Crystal Dynamics, who, I don't know if it's the exact same team, but it is the same company that made the Tomb Raider Origin trilogy, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider games. And we got our first reveal of what the game looks like in action. And it looks bad. I'm sorry to say, but it looks pretty bad.
It looks like a mobile game.
So, a lot of people were saying like it's the character design. I don't think it's the character design. Now the characters do look strange. They look pretty odd. Whether you're looking at like a still image of them or in motion, although I think they look worse in motion when you're actually seeing everything animated together. I don't know what they were thinking with Thor's hair. It honestly, it looks like bad CG from early 2000s. That's what it looks like. Where we couldn't get humans right at all at that point in time. It's just they went with this. I think it all centers around. They went with a weird art style. It's not ultra realistic, and at the same time, it is kind of realistic. But they threw in like a cartoony, I don't know if you'd call it filter or something, but there's something in there that brings it right into the uncanny valley, where it's just not visually pleasing to look at. And again, a lot of people are saying, oh, the character designs are off. I don't think it's the character designs. I just think it's whatever engine they're using isn't good.
No.
I mean, Iron Man's mask is it's more of the retro mask, more so than the more modern MCU type of Iron Man mask that we're used to seeing on him. But Thor, I think, looks the worst. Hulk doesn't look bad because Hulk always kind of looks like a cartoon a little bit. But all of especially when they gave you the full trailer, and I think there's a scene where Tony and Bruce are arguing over something, and it's supposed to be this really serious scene, but I can't take it seriously because it's just the lip movements and the everything is just, it's done, like I said, it's like early 2000s CG is what the graphics remind me of. And then I think journalists reported that they got to play it, and it's really not that good of a demo. If they wanted to make a good impression here, they didn't. Not just in trailer footage, but also with the gameplay demo itself. I know that there has been backlash about the character design, and the directors come out saying that that's not going to change before the game comes out. And I think it's due... Is it due out like this fall? November, I want to say?
I think so.
I
didn't keep a close eye on that.
It's weird.
A lot of... I don't know. It's hard for me to, like, keep a close eye on comic book games, just because most of the time they're either movie adaptations of games, or it's just kind of like Marvel versus Capcom, which it's really kind of hard to miss those because it's just a fighting game.
Yeah.
But any kind of like just anything else, it just doesn't work that well. If it's not Arkham, it's usually... It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth the $60 they're gonna release it at.
Yeah, I don't... They're talking about also it being a co-op game, and how it's kind of going to be like a game as a service in some respects. So it'll have multiplayer, but the single player, or the campaign, will be a single player campaign. And they even do like the same 5-year time jump that they did in Avengers Endgame. Like something happens. Yeah, in the there's 2 trailers. The second trailer had a lot more detail in it, but it actually shows you like 5 years after what happens with like the helicarrier exploding and Steve Rogers apparently being on there and dying or something, and they like show a memorial to him. That's where Tony and Steve are arguing, and like Tony's hair is grown out and he kind of looks a little strung out. It's a strange direction to take Avengers down, and I honestly don't think it's all of you are saying, oh, well, it's only because of the MCU. I really don't think so. I really don't think it's because we're used to movies. Because they did hire, like, top voice talent. Like, you've got Nolan North. You got... Oh, come on. What's his name? I think his name is Travis Willingham. Troy Baker, who does everything nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's just... Even with that, it's still not... It's such a weird presentation. It looks bad. It just straight up looks bad. So Final Fantasy VIII is getting a remake. And it seemed for a while that Square didn't want to acknowledge its presence. Like, we had 7, 9, 10, 10.2, 12, all getting re-releases and new ports and remasters. Except for 8. And it was just strangely absent that it was being skipped, not shown any love. But it looks like it is being remastered, not remade. There's a difference. There's a video you can watch on the channel that explains the difference. Remake versus remaster. Highly recommended. And it is coming out. It's being made. So I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
We also have Dying Light 2, Outriders, The Last Remnant Remastered. I think that might have been a 360 exclusive before, but now it's going to be available for everything.
Everyone.
Dragon Quest Builders 2, because apparently the first one was a hit, and it's that Dragon Quest Minecraft-like game. Dragon Quest 11, the Definitive Edition. I don't know if that's what it's actually called. The Definitive Edition?
I think it's Definitive Edition S.
S, okay. I knew that there was an S after it.
Yeah.
Something of an elusive age. I don't know.
I heard it was a good game.
I heard it was good too. I kind of wish we got the 3DS version because that had a really cool... You could play in the top 16-bit style, on the bottom screen 16-bit style, and on the top 3D modern
I like
style.
the 3D style. Not the old.
you could
The old
do
style
both.
wasn't bad, but I like the new style. I think that might be a game I get once I calm down a little bit with the games I've been playing. I've got like 3 games I've been playing, so I need to be one of them.
Cool. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, we knew about this, but we saw more footage of it. Oninaki, which I know nothing about. Something else called the Square Enix Collective. I think that might have been indie related. Not terribly sure. And the last thing they covered was Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, which is going to be just the next expansion of Final Fantasy XIV, which a lot of people like. Now, on to Nintendo's press conference. And Smash. They opened strong with DLC. So, first, it's the Dragon Quest hero.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I've heard a few people, not very many, but I've heard a few people say that they don't like the inclusion of him just because he looks like a Link clone. Which isn't true. If anything, he's a Robin clone. But that's such a unique fighter style. There's not very many spell swordsmen.
And I can't figure out like what his moveset is. Like normally you can look at stuff and you're just like, okay, well that's his smash, that's his up B. It almost looks like, you know how Palutena in the last game had like a bunch of really different custom specials because custom specials were a thing in 3DS and Wii U. It kind of seems like they're going that way for him. And I don't know if the 4 different versions of the hero that we're seeing, if those are skins or if those are, what is the term? Shadow fighters? Clone fighters? Basically clones with small differences. Marth Lucina type thing.
Yeah.
Can't think of what they're called right now.
Man, that is embarrassing. Because no, I can't think of it either.
Right? But yeah, I can't tell if what the situation is, if those are just skins or whatnot.
Yeah. Well, they used a lot of specials.
Yeah.
There were like several different specials, and like you said, like I don't know if that's well. And another thing is they brought up like a menu, like there was like a spell menu,
and maybe they can switch specials on the fly. Like they can pull up that menu and say, okay, I want to switch to this one,
which would be really cool.
Like Shulk.
I was also thinking of maybe like that makes sense.
Like hold down B and you
can
switch.
like neutral B is just swap.
Yeah. Tap B, it does the attack. It does the actual move. Hold in B, you get the menu.
That would be like cool, because he does have like very Chrom-esque moves. Like I think his standard B looked like it looked like the Robin's neutral B, but fire, and it looked like the side special would be like shooting electricity. Up B kind of had like it was a wind spell too, but it looked like
but
it was like 2 tornadoes.
But there were 2 different versions of it. It seemed like he had 2 different recoveries.
Well, that was one of the other ones.
One of the other heroes.
Bounce or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
And that's coming out this summer. We didn't get a date,
Yes.
but they did say summer.
Which is like I would imagine next month, maybe.
And Matt, what's the even though they ended the E3 Nintendo Direct with this, we should just get out of the way now. What was the other character announced?
My boy Banjo made it to the game.
And apparently Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, and King K. Rool are all really happy that they're there. That was a good reveal.
I'm gonna be honest, I actually didn't like it.
You didn't like it, even though it was just like King K. Rool?
It's the same thing as K. Rool.
Yeah, but that was the whole point.
I mean, like I know that they're all rare.
Related. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all rare representatives, which is like, I mean, yeah, it's cute. I don't know. I don't like to have his own. I don't know how they would have incorporated that, which is probably why they went through that. But I don't know. I feel like they went like the villain style. So I was thinking of like another like Donkey Kong villain, but I couldn't think of anything.
Well, you saw the Jiggy like immediately.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They made that like as soon as I saw that, I was like,
Yep.
oh
Yeah. As soon as I was Banjo's in it,
because if it had been anything other than Banjo, I would have thrown my copy of Smash Bros.
and his
out the window.
and I'm honestly like both him and the hero are I definitely see as potential fighters for me because he's got a cool move set, and I've never played Banjo-Kazooie. I'll say it here now. I don't really like the game that much. I was a teenager when it came out, and by that point I was done with, cutesy tootsy stuff. And actually I was playing, Final Fantasy around that time, so I was into more mature games with mature themes.
Yeah, you were an edgelord. It's okay.
It's true. So when that game came out, I was just kind of like, all right, this is for little kids and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was,
But-
and I played the crap out of that game.
Yeah, but I can still appreciate it for what it is and what it means to a lot of people, and I really do mean it. Looking at the move set, and I've seen a lot of Banjo-Kazooie gameplay online. It looks like his move set is just ripped straight out of the games.
Everything like the Smash. No, in fact, even like the Smash moves, his Smash move set is like very much the game. And even the tilts, which is cool. And even when he sprints, Kazooie
yeah,
takes over, which is something that happens in the game.
Right, that's the dash move. In the
Yeah.
game.
And
him running with like shooting.
That was
shooting
in,
with-
I think, Banjo-Tooie.
Okay.
Yeah, there was like a first-person shooter level.
And his over smash where he just takes Kazooie out and just like comes down.
To my knowledge, I can't remember anything of him doing that, but it's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Everything about him is just. And I love his design.
Yeah,
his new design is like it's a little cartoony. It's kind of like what they did with Mega Man. They made it kind of more cartoony,
like a caricature.
Yeah.
Of him.
But I still like it.
Yeah. Oh, I do
love it.
too.
Yeah, and like
This is like Nintendo's take on the character
oh yeah,
because
Yeah.
Rare being a Western British developer. So
I'm so happy. Honestly, like as soon as he comes out,
yeah, I think he'll be good, and then he comes out this fall.
yes.
So honestly, so far that leak that came out has been dead on
Yep, we
with
we
the
have
5 characters.
There's a Microsoft rep. There's a Square rep, which I hope that's not the only one because I can't remember.
But the next two that said were Steve from Minecraft, which would be Microsoft, and Master Chief, which would be Microsoft also.
Which I don't.
You don't know what to think about that?
Both of them, no.
Yeah, although I think Steve would be a better fit.
And that isn't to say like I don't think they shouldn't be. Like I can think of a good move set for Master Chief.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But like in my head it's just like it just doesn't feel
I mean,
right.
but
But
at the
Snake
same-
and Cloud are in the game.
I was about to say Cloud being in the game, kind of.
well, Snake and Bayonetta more than because those are both rated M.
Yeah,
Because Halo's rated M, but they
yeah, but Snake was on the GameCube with the Twin Snakes. Cloud, at the time he was released as DLC, was only like a Theater Rhythm character on the 3DS, so not really didn't really meet the criteria. But now Final Fantasy VII is on the Switch, so you do have that.
Minecraft Steve I can see more of actually happening than Master Chief. That being said, I don't want him in the game.
Yeah, I if I'm being honest, yeah, I would rather see characters out there that I care about.
I would rather have like
Goku?
no.
No Goku.
No
You're
Goku.
still against Goku
Yeah.
being in the game. It's
Yeah.
okay. I think Sakurai has shot that down anyway.
Good. I would not be against another Sonic character.
Yeah, although, oh goodness, if they brought in another Sonic character, I'd want the second one to be another Mega Man character.
Which
Like-
kind of sucks because they've, like,
Exhausted them.
yeah, they're all kind of there. Because, like, Zero is,
Yeah, I'd want Zero in there.
Yeah.
You can't bring in any of the other Mega Mans because they're all part of the Final Smash.
they're part of
although,
so is
although
Base.
Crom is still a part of Robin's Smash, and he's a character now.
Is he still a part of a Smash?
Yes, he is.
That's you know what? The X, please.
X, yeah.
X or, honestly, I'd be down for Mega Man.exe.
Or even Proto Man. He'd be a good
Yeah.
one. But yeah, I know he's part of the Final Smash now.
Yeah.
But
More realistically, I would like to have Sora. I would love that.
Yeah.
If they're gonna throw another Square Enix character, I never played Super Mario RPG. I don't care about Geno at all. That character's complete trash in my opinion. He was only used once, so he clearly wasn't that good. I'm just saying.
wow. I think he's still a possibility this round because I don't think that they did a Mii costume pack like they did on
They
Wii
didn't.
U.
Nope, he was not meat costume. So I think he's a little bit more likely than Sora. I don't like saying that out loud, but
Oh,
I think it's true.
I think it's the other way around. I think Sora's more likely.
Really?
I do, but at the same time, they would have to get permission from Disney because Square Enix and Disney co-own that character.
Yeah.
But still, they've had Kingdom Hearts games on Nintendo platforms, so it wouldn't be. And there's a rumor that the Story So Far collection, along with Kingdom Hearts 3, might be coming to the Switch at some point.
Which would be dope.
Yeah, it would be dope. I'd have to fight the urge to buy all of them again. What the heck, I'd buy all of them again. But point is, we have 2 more DLC characters coming and 2 right around the corner that both look pretty darn good. All right, next up, and I know this is also at the very tail end, very, very, very tail end, but I can't wait to talk about this. Official sequel for Breath of the Wild, and let me just say that that's a big deal because most Zelda games do not get direct follow-up sequels. Ocarina of Time did, Wind Waker did, one was not, or was it? Yeah, one Zelda 2 was a direct sequel to the original Legend of Zelda. And Link's Awakening, I think, was a direct sequel to... Well, it's like Link's Awakening, Oracle of Ages and Seasons, and A Link to the Past are all, like, the same Link in Zelda also. But normally, it's like, when you get a new Zelda game, it's not really a sequel, even though it's within the same timeline.
Right.
So it's pretty rare that this
Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask, yeah, it's a sequel to Ocarina of Time. It's a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time. He goes back to being a kid, and then he is looking for Navi, who leaves at the end of Ocarina of Time. Are you trying to tell me Majora's Mask is not a sequel to Ocarina of Time? I don't know. Are you saying you don't know?
I have an opinion,
Well,
but I feel like this isn't the place for it. Because I feel like that's going to go on a longer tangent than is necessary.
What, like over what game is better than which one? Or
No,
anything
just
like that?
on if it's technically a sequel.
But it definitely is.
I mean, it takes place afterwards.
It's the same Link. Anyway, I'll take your advice. I won't keep pushing the issue. Do you want to talk about the sequel?
I do kind of want to talk about the sequel.
You go right
because if you weren't going to say it, I was definitely going to say it. That there hasn't been a direct number 2 to any Legend of Zelda game before. So to have it with Breath of the Wild,
I don't think it's going to be called Breath of the Wild 2.
No, they'll have another name for it, but it's very obvious immediately after the end of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Zelda gets a haircut.
Yeah.
Which I like.
I like it too. I don't. This new Zelda is it's just one of their best designs ever.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
And I don't think you are, but I don't mind. I think you mind the voice. I don't mind the voice.
No.
I think the voice is just fine. I don't understand when people are like, oh, she's a terrible voice actress. No, she's not.
No, and this is like one of the first... Yeah, no, this is one of the first games where she actually has like a personality. She's like an actual character.
Right.
I think
she seems real. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a real princess in this situation, a real person in this situation would have these emotions.
Yeah. Like Skyward Sword, she had a...
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Her character in that was also pretty good.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't think there have been many games where Zelda actually has a personality.
She does have a really odd smile at the end of Breath of the Wild, though.
I don't care. It's good.
The trailer.
Yes, the trailer is... I honestly didn't know where they were at first. I thought they were in some kind of like catacomb. It took me a while to realize that they were under Hyrule Castle.
Maybe they weren't even in Hyrule. I was wondering.
They were very much
I know where that... But just thinking, I was like, oh, where are they?
Oh, yeah.
After the initial shock of, oh my goodness, this is the next Zelda that we're looking at. So, my initial impressions of that mummified figure that they come up on, my initial impression was that it was female. And I've heard a lot of evidence and theories point to no, it's Ganondorf. It's like his mummified remains that are reviving. And I think that's a possibility. But remember, Ganondorf technically died not just in Twilight Princess, but also, I would argue, in Wind Waker, when he got turned to stone. Maybe you could say, no, he just got imprisoned, but he did have a Master Sword shoved through the front of his skull, so I think that's pretty decisive, let's just say. Okay? And he dies it looks like he dies in Twilight Princess. I mean, he gets the Master Sword through his chest at the end of Twilight Princess. So I always looked at those in those particular story, in those timelines, as that was the end of Ganondorf. And then in Breath of the Wild, where we have Calamity Ganon, it's like they even say, like, you know, he's just basically poured all of his malice and determination into this one form, and he's given up reincarnation. So for this to be Ganondorf, I can see how it would make sense, because like, oh well, you know, even though Zelda defeated him ultimately, and like now it's like a remnant of his spirit is like maybe has made its way into, I don't know, I just kind of would like a different villain.
I'd either be down with a new villain or I don't know, like a new version of Vaati.
that would be good. I actually thought it was oh goodness, I can't think of her name at the moment. Midna. I thought for a moment it was Midna, but here's why it's not Midna. It's covered in Gerudo jewelry. Which would point to Ganondorf. And also there's like a really brief scene where, because there's like this blue spirit-like hand that looks like it's holding whatever it is in place. It's like, you know, pushing him down. And I honestly think because they jump around timeline wise a lot in this trailer, where it's like, okay, the order of events is jumbled up Also the music is like in reverse, but even when you listen to it in reverse, it's still very haunting and strange. I feel like maybe there's like earthquakes or something in Hyrule, and then they go down to investigate the cause. They find this thing there. That's when it like looks like it, at one point it turns its head and like the eyes like light up. I think that surprises Zelda, and she almost falls. Link goes to catch her, he falls, and then this hand goes and grabs Link. But because it went to grab Link, like I do think it's a good force, because we see Link also for a split second using this hand, like his I think it's his right hand that's glowing. I think it saves them, but revives whoever this is. That's how I feel like that the events are unfolding, and then I do think there was some art of Breath of the Wild where it showed a floating island with Ganondorf on top of it. So I do think Hyrule Castle is going to be like floating in the sky.
Well, that's what it kind of like ended with. Was Hyrule Castle
it was
like
raising up.
Raising.
It was going up, but it only went about maybe as high as the Great Plateau, and then that was the end of it. Which a lot of people think that's what happened to the Great Plateau. There's a lot of theories around that.
Could also just be a plateau.
Also, I love the fact he didn't put the Master Sword back. The Master Sword is there on his back, so I doubt you're going to start the game with it, but because it's kind of Zelda tradition, you don't start with the Master Sword.
I think they might. They might make up some like shenanigans about like, oh, you got to get it powered up with the 5 elements of whatever.
Oh, like with Skyward Sword?
With everything.
With everything.
It's like several Legend of Zelda games where you got to get like a bunch of crap to power up the sword.
You speak the truth.
Yeah, so I wouldn't put it past them for that. I've heard a lot of people say that they think that Zelda might be a playable character.
Oh, I would hope so. I'd really hope so.
If it's not like you can choose between, like maybe have like some sections where like you play as Link, in some sections you play as Zelda, because they've done that before in games, and like people, I don't know, it wasn't bad. Like in Spirit Tracks, they kind of did something like that. Was,
you took control of Zelda, yeah.
Yeah, you take over a Phantom Soldier with Zelda, and you can control it. So I don't know if they would do something like that. I hope it is not in the same location.
Okay. I wouldn't mind if it was, because that is a lot there, but I would want it to see it drastically changed.
I would want, like, more towns other than just, like, stables. I'd want some population.
Yeah, I mean, it could have... I'd be okay if, like, a few years went by. In fact, make it in real time. Like, Breath of the Wild came out March 2017. Whenever this game comes out, make it that many years later.
Yeah, because just a few of the things I had as far as problems go with the game was it felt so empty. As far as there wasn't like a whole lot to do other than find Korok seeds and shrines and
break all your weapons.
I had no problem with that.
I did.
I would like a little bit more weapon variety. Like if they wanted to throw in some new weapon types, that'd be cool. If they want to keep the weapon durability, I'm fine with that. Or if they want to make it to where weapons don't break as fast.
Or if they break, you can still repair them and they're not just gone.
Or maybe use like... I feel like they could have used the Korok seeds, like if you saved up a bunch, you could sacrifice like a large quantity to make an item like unbreakable.
I don't know. I feel like the way it was done in Breath of the Wild, they were like, nope, we're committed to it. We don't care if some people don't like it. This is how we're going to do it.
I'm fine with that.
But something I actually heard that the developer said is they were very inspired by Red Dead Redemption 2. So, very well received, critically acclaimed game. I've heard it's one of the greatest open world games ever made. I'm talking about the new one that came out.
Right. Yeah.
So
visually and story wise, yes.
Yeah. gameplay wise.
It's extremely repetitive.
Well, it's realistic, and I think, and the nice thing about Nintendo is they don't go full on realistic like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, well, if Link doesn't shave, he's gonna have a beard. Although, bearded Link would be pretty interesting.
Nope. Nope.
Old grizzled Link missing an arm.
Nope.
Or two.
Not into it. Don't do it.
All right, he likes his Link's clean shaven. Gotcha. All right, but yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that sequel. No release date, which means it's probably a couple years
21.
away.
2021.
Yeah.
Earliest.
I think so. And staying on the Zelda kick, we got some more information for the Link's Awakening remake, which I guess they're just calling The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. That's it.
Nice.
And we found out some more information, some added features to the game. A bit of a dungeon designer, like a think Mario Maker, but Zelda Maker in a way. Not quite. Although
It's more of like you can. It's like you're given a number of rooms and you place the rooms
in a certain, you place the rooms in a certain fashion, then you can make your own dungeon to beat, and then you get additional rewards that way. I would like it. I couldn't help but think, like, man, something like Street Pass would really come in handy here. Like, if you designed a dungeon for your friends to go through, I think that would be pretty neat. Although it seems like it's going to be very, very limited and nowhere near that level of complexity. So
yeah.
So that's a little bit disappointing, but it's still pretty nice. We got to hear some of the music, and I love the music.
It sounds very good.
Yeah, it's almost like they've got retro Game Boy sounds mixed in with the rearranged music in some of the tracks, not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah. So
I like that. Of course, they have the Tall Tall Heights theme, which is one of the best Zelda songs. Period. Then art style, still not a fan.
I like it.
And I know what they were going for. I know that they were, with making him having like those line eyes, his sprite does look like that in the original game. But that's still kind of like, I don't know. If they only change, I think if I'd be fine with everything else if they just gave him more of like a Link to the Past design with the eyes. Keep everything else the same, but they're not. It's number one, it's too late. The game comes out September. And they showed off the amiibo of him. So it is set in stone. Link is kind of going to look like kind of looks like a Funko Pop thing, but instead of circular eyes.
That's what I've been hearing, that and an extra from the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movies.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. I can see that.
Yeah, Link wanted to be a dentist, so he got on a boat and sailed away. Now he's dead. He's dreaming of a better place.
Wow. So yeah, I'm getting that the day comes out. Link's Awakening is definitely in my top 5 Zelda games. It's probably still my favorite 2D Zelda.
It's one of the only Zelda games I haven't played.
It was the first one that I played, which is probably why I like it so much, but still. I think I still think to this day it's underrated by people who play Zelda. And people want to talk about, like, I'm going to rag a little bit on Majora's Mask because I feel like I have to counter a little bit of the internet here. But a lot of people say, like, Majora's Mask was so dark. Oh my goodness, so dark and moody. And it's like, do you understand what the plot of Link's Awakening is? I'm not going to spoil it for you if you haven't played Link's Awakening, but that is dark. So, I'm just saying, Majora's Mask was not the first dark, weird, wonky Zelda out there. The honor of that would go to Link's Awakening. But play it. Definitely play the game if you haven't played it before. If people who have played it, you know that you're going to want to get the remake. So, Next, we have Luigi's Mansion 3, which looks so good. I just got into the Luigi's Mansion series. I got the GameCube, I wouldn't say remake, port. The port for 3DS of the original GameCube game. I have Dark Moon. I haven't played it yet, but I love the original. I don't know why it took me so long to play it. I guess I was just waiting for it to come to a portable system, but I finally did play it. I liked it, and I know that Dark Moon plays very differently, and a lot of people had complaints about it as far as mission structure, and that was basically the main complaint people had. They felt like you couldn't just explore like you could in the first game. There was always like this mission, and apparently your money was tied to like how well you fought ghosts and things like that. Haven't played the game. That's just what I've heard other people say. But it seems like this third game, they're going to not have you do the mission structure. It looks like it's going to be more like the first one. A lot of exploration emphasis, and you're going to have a ton more moves in this one. Like that burst move. Do you have thoughts on that?
No, I was just going to say a lot of his moves look like Smash moves. It's like his grab now makes a little bit more sense.
But that's from Dark Moon, I believe. The plunger.
I've heard it was new.
And Smash? Oh. Well, if that is the case, then yeah. And I do like how, you shoot the plunger at things, and then you can suck up that plunger, and then the whole slamming ghosts, although I don't know how that works with ghosts. I thought they could kind of go through things like walls and floors, and I'm not going to argue with the science. I'm just not. So, yeah, we've got that going on with Luigi's Mansion 3. I am looking forward to it. I think... Did they mention when we were going to get it?
I think so.
It's still 2019, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not 20. I know they gave a release date. I just can't think of it.
Okay. Or it might just be later 2019 or something like that. Like
it might be fall.
October.
They got a lot of stuff coming out
October
fall.
would be a good time for that. Yeah, it might be another. They have a lot coming out in September. It seemed like. But yeah, your thoughts on Luigi's Mansion?
I've never played the game before. And it kind of just got further and further away, and it was just at the point where like I had no interest in it. It looks like a very interesting game. I never got around to it.
Still got that 2DS?
I do.
You could always get the first two.
I can.
See if you like them.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It doesn't look bad.
They're fun games.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I don't know. I don't know if it's something that I'd be into or not.
First one is a little short. You can run through it in a weekend,
even
if it's like your first time playing.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Speed runs of that game are very fast.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good. They had a whole lot fleshed out. It seemed like people were really looking forward to it. So, I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be a good game. And if time comes when it comes out and I've got nothing to do, if I've got the spare change lying around, I might do it.
So, more spooky stuff. They announced Resident Evil 5 and 6 coming to the Switch, and the way they did this was really weird. They showed like these teenagers sneaking out, basically breaking into this like house that's like kind of like a haunted house, and they're sneaking in there to play video games. Like, okay, like I'm not gonna go too far down that road, but I think everyone kind of thought that was a bit cringy. A bit unrealistic there. But and then they're playing the original, like the remake, the original Resident Evil remake. And I was thinking the whole time, like, because, and then, like, they get freaked out and they, like, run away. And then they tell you, like, oh, Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 are coming to the Switch. Like, well, why didn't you show them playing Resident Evil 5 or Resident Evil 6? Because those are actually co-op games that you can play together.
But nobody liked them. Well,
No,
five
was
okay.
good. I have yet to play 6, so I can't really give a full thing. I did like the setting for Leon's campaign.
I've heard nothing but bad news about 6.
I don't think it's. I've played a little bit of it, but
a lot of it is just like people complaining that it's not like a Fallout or not Fallout.
It's not like Resident. Like they went too far in the action movie genre, and that's fine. I think it does kind of seem more like a game based on the movies rather than a continuation of the games. I'll say that much because there's like running from helicopters that are crashing and stuff like that. Like, okay, I can see why people would be upset about that. It doesn't make it a bad game. It does kind of move Resident Evil further in a direction that's a lot of people may not like. But yeah, so those are coming to the Switch. Dragon Quest 11, even though it was weird because Square Enix talked about it, but we didn't get a release date for it until the Nintendo Direct there. So that was interesting that happened. Trials of Mana are actually... I wrote down my notes. That's strange that they're coming in 2020. Weren't they released like now? Like that Secret of Mana collection, or is that coming out in 2020?
I think that was the collection that was out now.
Oh, but the next Mana game is going to be
2020.
2020. Okay,
yeah.
That makes sense. After that, we had another Fire Emblem Three Houses story trailer, which I've noticed. Okay, I'm not like the biggest Fire Emblem fans, but I can understand fans kind of being concerned because it's not long until the game comes out. I think it's only a few months away. It might be coming out.
It's July, I think.
July, yeah. And we still haven't seen very much gameplay of it. We've only seen really either CG or in-game cinematics. It's like they're really pushing the story hard in this one. And to my knowledge, people don't really play Fire Emblem that much for the story.
No.
They play it for the gameplay. They like to get that tactical RPG fix.
Yeah.
And they haven't been seeing that with the trailer. So it's really... I wouldn't say be worried about it because from what the scant footage of gameplay we have seen, it does look a lot better than, the 3DS installments that we just had. So I wouldn't be worried there. It's just strange that that's how they're choosing to market this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a gigantic Fire Emblem fan. Again, that's one of those games where if I've got the extra change, I'll pick it up because I've played a few of them, but it's nothing that I'm like super into.
Yeah. We also had No More Heroes 3 announced for the Switch, which, I mean, I don't know if they announced it before or what, but a lot of people were like, yeah, he's not just making the whole Travis Strikes Back, I think was that kind of top down that a lot of people didn't like.
Yeah, it was like several arcade style games
mixed into one
with like Travis Touchdown as the protagonist.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a No More Heroes game.
Yeah, so getting a proper sequel.
Very
with that.
excited about that. That is a game I'm definitely picking up.
Did you play the first two?
I did.
I have not played those games at all.
Very good. They're very good. I would recommend it. It's a little.
There's some adult stuff in it. I should say.
Yeah.
Like mature material. Let's see. Let's get through some of these pretty quickly. We've got Daemon X Machina gets a release date. Panzer Dragoon remake announced for the Switch. I'm sure there's a lot of people excited for it because It was like a Sega Saturn game, 3D on rail shooter that a lot of people liked, but it looks like this is going to be a full remake.
I did not even know it was a remake.
Reimagining, yeah, definitely. New Contra game announced for Nintendo Switch, and I'm sorry, but when was the last time a good Contra game came out? It's by the current Konami.
And it looks bad. It does not look good. I don't know if that's like
alpha game footage that we're seeing.
Yeah,
it looks messy.
It looked very alpha. I hope that's not close to end game because that looks bad.
Yeah. And on the tail end of that, they basically said, surprise, the Contra Anniversary Collection is here. They also showed off we got a trailer because it's very close to coming out. The Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, basically the launch trailer came out. There's a ton of characters in it. And honestly, it looks better than that other Avengers game that Square Enix is publishing. But at the same time, it's got a season pass on it, which is bleh. Can't believe people are still doing those. But yeah, it does look better than the Avengers game. New Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games trailer was shown because we've got that coming up next year, the Olympics.
And it's in Tokyo.
Yep, in Tokyo. And Spyro Reignited Trilogy is now coming to the Switch. Again, everyone saw that one coming. Not a big surprise there. The Cadence of Hyrule has been released on Switch, and I don't know if that was based on an indie game or... Okay, so it's kind of like a tie-in, but it's its own game, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I can't remember the full name, but it was something of the Crypto Dancer. And the premise of the game is you fight to the beat of the music.
You do everything to the beat of the music. You move, and when you move, the enemies move.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I like that.
I think it's a very cool idea.
I think once you get into the rhythm of playing it, no pun intended, but I feel like that there's no other way. Say it, get into the groove.
Yeah.
It's probably fun, but it's not.
It's not a Zelda game that I would be down to play, and I feel like that was their whole big thing. It's a Zelda game.
Not really.
No, it's like they just threw Zelda and Link into this.
Yeah, although you can play Zelda, so Nintendo's open to, maybe that with the Breath of the Wild sequel.
I think it was Crypt of the Necro Dancer. Could
be right. Alien Isolation was announced. That's kind of neat. Never going to play it. Animal Crossing for Switch was delayed, but now it has a name. I believe it is... I don't know what the name is. Animal Crossing something friends. I don't know. Animal Crossing... I'm such a big Animal Crossing fan, aren't I? New Horizons.
You're going to Google that, but you're not going to Google the term for alternate Smash characters.
Yeah. You want me to just because I'm here?
Yes, I need to know. I can't think of it.
I think that's going to be...
It's going to hurt me until I figure it out. It's going to be
harder to find out, too. Is it Shadow?
No,
it's not.
Is it Delta?
Clone character?
It's some kind of Greek letter.
What are they? Echo Fighter. They're just Echo Fighters. They're an Echo. Not a Shadow, an Echo. Okay. Happy now?
Kind of.
Okay.
A little more embarrassed than happy, but...
So, explain to me, why do people like Animal Crossing games?
It's the same reason why people like Stardew Valley,
Harvest
Moon. Those, honestly, I get down with those games. I love them so much. I've never played Animal Crossing before. Yet another game that kind of just came out and I never got into it. I'm gonna get into it though.
This time around?
Yeah, because, I got into... I've been into Harvest Moon since I was in, middle school. And ever since I picked it back up when I was in, 10th grade.
Yeah.
I started playing more games like that. I've been like, it's just a nice game to cool down. Like, you just kind of, you go brain dead, you just do stuff.
Yeah, I have my games like that. I don't know.
There's not
it's too chill.
There's no rush, there's no hurt. Well, there's a little bit of rush. Just because, like, you want to get your crops and stuff before
things are timed. Yeah, things are timed.
Yeah, so it's like you've got things you got to do in a certain amount of time, but you can definitely do them. It's a time management kind of resource collect game.
Gotcha.
It's something to just like come home from work. You know, I don't want to play Smash. I don't want to get competitive or get too into anything.
But
I want to calm down. I want to relax, wind down. You pull out Animal Crossing.
Okay. So after that, we have The Witcher 3, The Switcher 3. The Switcher 3. Yes, coming for Nintendo Switch.
For big boys.
Yes, we're gonna play a game and watch a grown man take a bath. So I am curious as to how they did it. I thought for sure like maybe Panic Button was involved in the port because they're the ones that brought Doom to the Switch and they like did all of the how did they do that ports with the Switch so far, but I forget which company they mentioned. It was not CD Projekt Red, but they contracted country. Yeah, probably did take the size of a small country actually to fit it on there. It is the full game, all DLC included, and they are going with a 32 gig Switch card to fit it all on there. I don't know if you'll need to download additional stuff for it. One of the concerns that I heard about it was usually when we get these ports to the Switch, a lot of the audio has to be compressed and compromised, and it doesn't sound good. So hopefully that's not happening here. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a very impressive technical feat, and along with I think it's called Hellblade: Sesena's Sacrifice. And this game, I'm just kind of like, well, if these games can be on the Switch, then what can't run on the Switch that can run on a PS4 and Xbox One?
Yeah,
that's insane that they're pulling off with it. Do you have anything else to add to that? Yeah, I didn't play the game either. Astral Chain, we got some more gameplay. Some of the story was revealed. It's a Platinum Games game. I mean, what else is there to say about it? Lots of action.
It's anime. Is robots.
Very, very anime.
Ooh.
I do like the color. The color is very appealing. It's kind of got like a Tron vibe going on with it as far as the coloring goes.
Yeah, I'm very into it. Another game I'm planning on picking up.
Oh, for real?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's also Persona 5R. Looking forward to that too.
Okay. So, Matt, got about 5 minutes left. Pokemon Sword and Shield works with the Pokeball Plus. Your thoughts, but just on the Pokeball Plus.
Pokeball Plus is stupid.
And there you have it.
Stop selling me accessories. Just give me a good game.
So what else, though, do you think so far of what they've talked about? Especially the weeks leading up to E3 because they had a Pokemon Direct.
Yeah. Ooh. My goodness. I love the I guess the overworld. I'm very into it. It's very much kind of like Pokemon XD Gales of Darkness and Pokemon Coliseum. It kind of has that feel of an open world combined with like the more Pokemon, the regular Pokemon art style of like Sun and Moon or X and Y. Because the other consoles had like their own kind of art style for Pokemon. But this one looks more traditional. Super excited about it. Oh my gosh, Pokemon are running around.
Yeah. So
I'm so excited.
Does that mean you won't have to crawl around in the grass to just randomly encounter one?
I think there still are, because it looked like there were some spots where you could like crawl around and you could like whistle for Pokemon to come out. Mm-hmm. But it also looked like you could just walk into these Pokemon running around and fight them.
So it's both.
Yeah. Well, and the giant open overworld.
And it seems like there's only one. The wild area, I think is what they called it.
I think it's gonna be like Hyrule Plains, where it's gonna be like this giant
the main area
wilderness,
basically.
but it's kind of like the hub. Like you get there and you can get to like all parts of the Galar region.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. I like that. And then of course we have the Mega Mushrooms in this version of the game.
Yes, Super Mega Mushrooms. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like Pokemon's getting real gimmicky, and I don't like it.
I also feel like it's a lazy gimmick. It's just basically Mega Evolution, but any Pokemon can do it.
Well, it's like they made Megas and Z moves into like one thing, and I have heard that there's rumors of another Mega Evolution called what's this one called? It's like
what, the Dynamax?
Yeah, Dynamaxing. There's one called Gigamaxing, but that one actually changes the appearance, and supposedly
only certain Pokemon can do it.
Yeah, there's rumors going around of one for Pikachu, Meowth, Lapras, and a few others that are going to actually change appearance, and they're going to get like unique moves.
When you catch the Pokemon that is a Corgi with a heart-shaped butt, you need to show it to me. I want to. Corgis are my favorite.
Are you not
dog
going to play? You're
ever.
not going to get it?
No.
That's surprising. A little surprising. I don't know. You're not as big of a Pokemon fan as I am. I've been very open with my love for Pokemon, so yes, I'm picking it up. So the new Pokemon they revealed, I like half of them. The rest of them are just kind of like, I don't know. Like, there's always some Pokemon that just I don't vibe with very well
you're
at first.
trash.
Not necessarily trash, just like you just. I'm sorry, like the internet like blew up with the sheep Pokemon Wooloo. It's just a
Why?
sheep. It's just a sheep.
I'm sorry, Mareep was better.
Yeah, it just had a more unique and interesting design. This is literally just a sheep, and I don't know if it's gonna have an evolution or if it's just gonna be like the Rattata or just the rodent normal type at the beginning.
Yeah, I don't get why people were losing their minds either.
Just sheep. I'm not super into it. If it has an evolution that looks a little bit better, then by all means. But as of now, that's just a sheep. The giant snapping turtle Pokemon, really cool. I like, what was it? It was like Juggernaut or something. That's not it. But
I'm not totally sure.
They showed like a cool raven kind of Pokemon that looked really cool. There was a flower Pokemon that just turned into another like version of Jumpluff, which I was really upset about because it looked like it was going to turn into a pepper, and I thought we were going to get like a grass fire type.
Oh, that would have been nice.
That would have been the first.
Wow.
There's no grass fire, right? I don't think there's a grass fire, but it definitely looked like it was going to be a chili, and then it evolved into like a dandelion. I'm like, Jumpluff looks so much better.
Yeah, I think it's showing a lot more, and people should be excited about it. That we're looking forward to like the console finally getting a console Pokemon game. Yeah. But yeah, those were our thoughts on the parts of E3 that at least interested us. If you have parts of E3 that we didn't get to, or you have different opinions than what we brought here to the table, let us know. That's what the comment section is for. Thank you for joining the podcast E3 edition on Level 1 Sword. Thank you, Matt, for making your way here.
You're welcome.
And Nathan is a doofus because he had to call out at almost the last minute. So
I love you, Nathan.
That's how things are. Sorry.
That's what the sword's actually for.
That's right. Bye-bye!